So I did an episode with Jackson where we were just sitting at that table, no feet in the frame. That was kind of like a...
No views. Was it like a tester?
It was a tester.
Okay.
It was sort of a feel it out, see how that goes. And it's at like... It's still got like 370 views right now, which is not bad.
That's good.
And like all I really care about is the listens on Spotify, which is it's still doing as the same as other episodes.
There you go.
Kyron's is doing amazing because he talked about getting molested.
Kai's also like an overpowered podcast guest.
He's made for it.
He's made for a podcast.
OP, yeah.
Because he just says the most ridiculous shit all the time.
He does. And then he'll stare at you and just wait for you to call him out on how ridiculous it is.
He'll just be like, I sucked a dick once, and then just wait for you to make fun of him.
And then he'll say he's not gay.
Yeah.
You're like,
Some
okay.
of it does feel, and I love Kai, but like a little bit Uncle Tom like, where it's like Kai will just say like overly black things and then look to his white friends like, you're gonna say something about that,
he
right?
loves
like,
to do that. It's so funny too because he's so light skinned.
Yes. It's like you're barely.
He has that great joke though about like he has the same fear as a white guy. His fear is just that his girlfriend's gonna get with like a blacker guy.
Yes.
That's amazing.
But at the same time, I'm like, dude, you are closer to me than you are Sam Biru. Like,
oh yeah,
100%.
Yeah. Well, Sam played lacrosse though.
Oh, that's white as hell.
I know.
Yeah, that's super white.
Yeah.
I didn't even do that.
No.
And
you're fairly white.
Yeah, I thought you thought we were going to bond over lacrosse on this podcast. And
really?
I was like, nope.
We look like we're about to.
Yeah. We should bond over me hitting your car. I thought that was going to be the first thing that was going to come up.
Let's talk about that.
Sure going to talk about that.
That was like the first time we ever had a conversation.
I know,
really.
and I like owe you my life for it.
Yeah. Let's go the timeline.
The timeline is I accidentally rear-ended you. I accidentally hit and ran you.
No, but it was so
terrible.
But it was like sandwiched by like a wholesome interaction at Uptown Tap, right?
Yes.
So we for the first real time we like talked to each other at Uptown Tap, and then we're like, let's go hit. Where did we drive to after that?
What was the other mic?
Or no, you hit me on the way to Uptown Tap. We went to fucking.
What was the mic before?
The guy that's always at Leah Berman's mic. Todd Glover.
Todd Glover, yes.
We're at Todd Glover's mic.
Yes.
Wow, I bombed.
Incredible.
I did a joke about
mic.
being black.
Yeah.
That did not do well.
People told me I had the best set of the night, and I was like, I want to kill myself after that. If
Damn.
that's the best set of the night, like,
that's crazy.
Does everybody actually kill themselves afterwards? It's brutal.
Eventually. And then so we were there, and then we were like, all right, let's powwow on to Uptown Tap. And then I
was parked in front of you.
You were parked in front of me.
Let me give just...
Yeah, give your perspective. I'll give my perspective.
Is going to be very different. My perspective was this. I backed up to back on my spot, and I heard a crack. And I was like, oh, I hit a tree branch or something. So then I just kept driving. Now, I will admit, there is always a 50% thought in my head whenever I hit a tree branch of like, I may have hit a car. But like, you ever do that in like a Walgreens parking lot? And you're like, all right, I'm just gonna get that.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
I'm not gonna like leave
when
a note
there are
or
no
anything.
trees anywhere around.
Yeah, fair. All right, there are no trees.
It's like a parking garage.
I swear to God, I'm not just. I'm not just saying that. I for real thought I hit a tree branch, but also I was like, if I did tap somebody's car, I'm not gonna like. It's downtown Chicago. Like I'm not leaving a note. You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, people.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, people get hit all the time. I drive like a woman. I get it. You know, and then I just drove away.
Correct.
And did not realize the car behind me was yours, and that I had slammed into your front bumper, and then just drove away.
Yeah.
Like to the same place.
To the exact same place.
Because from my perspective, it's like we get out park at the next mic, and I get out of my car, and I'm like, Harry, what's up, dude? And you're like, what the fuck was that? You're like, what the hell did you just do to me?
All right, so from my perspective,
yeah,
I got into the car. Dude, this was what was so crazy about it, is because I've had people like love tap my car before.
Yeah.
But you were sitting in your car. I think you were on your phone for a little bit.
It was a pretty big tree
and then
branch.
you backed up direct. Like no, it wasn't like it. First of all, it was not a tap.
That's what I mean. It was a pretty big tree branch.
You fully backed into my
like,
car. But what was crazy about that is you must have thought it was a tree branch because you backed into my car and then sat on my car for a little bit.
Yeah, like I didn't hesitate. No.
And then you just like pulled away, and I swear to God, in my car said that fucking.
I believe when we got to Uptown Tap, the wording you used was, I called you every slur I know.
Yeah, I was like, I can't believe you just fucking did that.
And then I profusely apologized to you for like 2 hours. Because like, dude, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Like, just the rudest thing you could possibly do.
You bought me Subway. It was nice.
I did buy you Subway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I've never done that to somebody before. I've never accidentally rear-ended and then just drove. Not even, I front-ended you.
You did. It's very rare.
Yeah.
Dude, I was driving the other day. I I've like tapped, dude. Scary thing that I did. I was backing up and I tapped the guy's motorcycle, and I was like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
Because that thing's gonna teeter over, and then I don't want to see who's driving that. But also, last night I was driving and I saw a rat run across the road. I've never hit an animal with my car. I saw a rat crossing the road, and I swear to God, I had the thought. I was like, rats are intelligent creatures, so there's no way I hit this. And I took both hands off the steering wheel, ran straight over the rat. I swear to God.
You thought it was going to get out of the way?
Yeah, I was like, he's a smart creature.
Well, that's the thing of like a bird. Like, you're never scared of hitting a bird because you're like, oh, they'll just get the fuck out of the way.
I've had a bird.
But like, I've hit a pigeon before.
Really?
I've ran over a pigeon, yeah.
Pigeons are asking for it.
For sure.
Let's be honest.
For sure.
You could kick a pigeon.
I feel that way. Okay, if I drive over a rat, this is such an irrational fear.
An irrational fear.
Insane. There's always a thought in my mind of like, it's going to crawl into my car.
What?
Yeah. Like, I know the cab is like airlocked and everything.
It's not, but.
It's not airlocked. It's not a plane. I'm stupid. All right. I know that the cab is separate from like the chassis, but I always feel like it's just going to climb into my exhaust system or something.
Yeah, just some way.
And just live in my car.
There have been like rats that will live in like people's engine blocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did do
I'm
that.
terrified of that.
They're so gross.
It's disgusting.
Do you think that you could like barehand a rat? Like if it was in your
Absolutely not.
apartment?
Absolutely not. If there's a rat in my apartment, I'm leaving.
Can you grab a mouse? I don't think I could do that. I think I'm too much of a. I can't hold anything that's living unless it's like a kitten or like a dog.
Kitten.
Kitten. Unless it's a kitten.
Dude, I was at an open mic, Mojo's out in Plainfield, and during my set, a mouse came on stage, and I'm so
a mouse
like,
ejaculated on the stage.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That's nuts.
I did
Big dick mouse.
Yeah, I did a
All right.
dirty talk.
But a
to it
mouse
little
just
bit,
ran.
But, yeah, no, it ran like on. It ran like up to the mic stand while I was there.
Oh shit!
And then like somebody in the audience screamed, and I don't know why.
That's
but,
so
like,
theatrical.
it was a lot. But I was like, it's a mouse. Calm down. But also then like in my head, I don't know. I grew up in like the woods, so in my head I was like, all right, I'm gonna stomp on it, and like
No fucking way.
I didn't do it, thank God.
Okay.
Because I got off and like I told somebody that, and they were like, dude, you would have ruined the like.
Yeah, that would be.
People would hate you, and I
would
was like,
ruin the
oh, that's
vibe.
like. I don't know why, but when it's small like that, my instinct reaction is like, oh, it's a
No,
bug.
that makes
I'll
sense.
Just fucking,
Yeah, because you have the feet. Yeah,
The feet people are gonna love.
It's like
that.
very.
Yeah.
There's like a. There's a.
They're gonna love that emote right there.
Dude, that there's this one guy that puts timestamps.
Crazy.
He's definitely gonna
Clip it.
timestamp
All right.
that.
He's gonna, yeah.
Dude, I'll get back to the stomping thing, but really quick, there's this guy that puts timestamps, and me and Max were like, this is every time he's come,
For sure.
and he put a timestamp at 19 seconds in one of our videos, and Max just texted me and he's like, dude, we made a guy come in 19 seconds.
That's crazy.
But
Also, not to go completely
go
off
ahead.
topic, it's tough to come. So like
Sorry?
anything I can do to help.
it's tough to come.
I think so.
Really?
Are you one of these guys too? I've noticed
It's effortless
this is
for
a
me.
generational thing. Okay.
Are you serious?
So like our generation of dudes, it's one of two ways. It's you or me, where it's like,
you have trouble coming.
yeah, dude, we're all porn addicts. So we all either come immediately, or it's like kind of like we're kind of women. It's kind of tough. Talk to your male friends. I guarantee you, there's more of it.
We're gonna get back to stomping and the woods.
Yeah, but this is taking priority now.
But wait, you have trouble. So when you jerk off, okay. I will say
jerk
this.
off, I'm fine because you're.
Yeah, you're okay. So
Yeah.
I was just making sure that you're not
I'm
insane.
good at it. All right. The
yeah.
women are the problem.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding, I'm
The
kidding.
problem is I don't like pussy.
Yeah. The problem is I'm gay, and
That would be crazy to just like blame her pussy on the fact that
Yeah.
you're not coming.
your pussy sucks.
Because they take it personally
they do
when you don't come.
So that was the thing. I had like a very bad not performance. I was just like scared in high school. I remember like I lost my virginity when I was like 16.
It's young.
And I was just like scared.
Uh-huh.
To
Yeah,
the
that makes
point
sense.
where I was like just nervous and like couldn't finish. And then like I remember the girl being like, "Oh, is it like taking it like so personally?" I was like, "No, you're doing great." Like it was like a dad telling their
Yeah.
kid that he's doing like a good job at a football game. Where I was like, "No, you're putting the effort in there. Like
you're killing it.
Yeah. I see you out there trying. You're doing great. Yeah, it's me.
You could
I'm
move around a little more.
Yeah. I mean, you could run for some loose balls every once in a while, but you know.
Use your hands, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's tough. That's
Go
tough.
full speed is what I'm trying to say.
But when you're having sex, you can't come. That's like
Sometimes.
a superpower.
Sometimes
I would
so
abuse
that's the
that.
Thing. I think like I'm not crushing it, but I think as a young boy, man, maybe I got decent at sex just because it was long.
Yeah.
Because it was like awkward. Because like I was
Totally.
like 18 having like 45
You got to fill the void.
hour-long sets.
Totally.
Yeah. It's like if you started stand-up and all your sets were like an hour long, like
You're going to figure it out
But
eventually.
you'd get good like you'd get decent.
It's a good
pretty
analogy,
fast.
yeah.
Yeah. It was like I just had to figure out how to fill time.
Dude, really? You're like, I just got to get a reaction.
Yeah.
I just got to get some kind of
I
reaction.
got to fill time. I was doing Q&As and shit. Yeah.
You start doing crowd work during sex.
Crowd work, yeah.
What do you do for a living?
I was just trying to fill time. Yeah,
Oh, that's
sell merch
so good.
afterwards, you
That's
know.
so good.
But yeah, now it's better now. The only thing that's difficult, I don't know if you feel this way, not to just devolve into sex talk.
It's too late. They love it.
It's a podcast.
You started it with the foot smack. But
Yeah, the foot smack is a crazy way to describe that move.
I don't know how else I would.
It's accurate. It's just crazy. No, dude, like the first time sex is bad. Do you agree with me on that?
Yeah, I mean, if it's not bad, it's weird.
Agreed.
No one's ever been like, yeah, I crushed my first time.
Yes.
You
Well,
know?
I say first time with a new person even.
Yeah,
Like a one-night stand?
dude,
Terrible.
Because you have to
Terrible.
figure out, dude. I was with this one girl, and we didn't even get the sex, but like I went down on her for like 30 seconds, and I hadn't gone down on a girl in like, let's say a random 483 days or something. So
It's been a bit. Yeah.
that's accurate, by the way. Me and Matt Calhoun calculated.
You counted it?
I'm at,
Crazy.
yeah, but
You want to go down on a girl?
no, I will.
Okay,
I
okay.
love it normally.
I was like, I honestly don't care.
So I was like, I'll go down on you. And then she was like, yeah, sure. And then I went down there and I was like, this is different equipment than I was working with last time. I don't know how this works. So I tried I was kind of just like being, because some girls you got to be like very gentle with. And then other girls you just got to fucking go crazy.
Yeah.
And then there's like a learning curve to each one. And it's like, if
100%.
we're in a relationship, if you give me a
I got it
month,
down.
if you give me a month, Patrice O'Neill has a joke about this where he's like, I can give my girl clinical orgasms. So he was like, my girl can't stay mad at me because I clinically make her come.
Because that's your girlfriend.
Exactly.
This is your job.
You
Yeah.
frickin' you run the
It's like your
gauntlet.
home club.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You go to a new room.
I'm gonna kill it every time here. You go to a new room, you're like, I don't know how these people are gonna take this.
So that's why, like, I think 17, 18 with me kind of got decent at sex. Was like, I was just going to new rooms every night. Not every night. Not every night. That's such a lie. I was going to new rooms once a year and doing 45 minutes, and I was like, all right, got to figure this out.
You'll get better.
Yeah,
You'll get a lot better.
You'll have some bad times and lose
Yeah.
some confidence, but you're gonna get better over time.
Dude, there was this one girl that I was with, and I just got it on the first try. Just
Nailed
like
it.
completely nailed it
You
on the
love
first
that.
try. And she, like, I'll never forget, she looked at me and she was like, how are you so good at this? And I was like, this is how it always is. I'm just always.
Yeah, I'm just always.
There's never just an awkward situation where they're like, all right, let's have a conversation now.
Yeah, this
You know?
experience didn't stand out at all.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
do this all the time.
It's hard to tell a girl that you're easy to make come
Yeah.
because they have to have some pride associated with the fact that you have to work for it a little bit. Does
And
that make
it like
sense?
it takes you down a notch.
Yeah, exactly. Because
They're
like,
like, you crush it, and I'm like, that was pretty easy.
I know
Yeah.
you have an easy puss. I don't know what to say. Because the dick is so binary. It's just like you, even though they can't. Dude, I've said this a million times, but girls will all, like so many. How many female comics do we know that have jokes about men not making them come?
Yeah.
Women
all
are
of them.
so bad at giving hand jobs, and it's so easy.
To be fair, and I'll vouch for the women here, they've never done it. Like they don't.
Yes, but
Even
a
if
hand
you go-
job is so much easier than a pussy.
Even if you go to like what the Reddit boys would call a low value woman, a woman with a very high body count.
LVW.
Yes. I've been single for a couple months. I've been divulging in the manosphere.
Have you?
A couple months now.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, dude. I thought,
It happens. I don't know.
welcome.
This just gets really sad all of a sudden. It's just like, yeah, I couldn't come, and I'm
So
single
anyway,
now.
back to the woods.
Back to these mouses.
Mice.
No, we broke up in like May, so it's been a bit.
Sorry, man.
It happens. I don't know. It was also like I don't know if you were going through this, like a good breakup where it's like, oh, we didn't hate each other or anything.
No, I have, yeah.
Okay. Those sometimes to me are worse.
Why?
Because I'm like, it's easier to break up with somebody and like move on when you're like, yeah, fuck that bitch.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
you just-
totally, yeah.
But when you're like, oh, I actually still kind of care about that person and don't hate them, it's just like, that's not right for
Yeah,
us. Like,
I'm
that's
still-
not me, you know?
Still best friends with them and do stand-up.
That's not what I was getting at. That's not what I was getting at was your situation. Okay.
I sympathize is what
Plowing past that.
Yeah.
Sympathize for sure. No, Oh, the man, like even if you're going to like a high body count woman, it's like let's say like a woman slept with like 100 guys.
That's a
like,
lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot. I've heard higher, honestly. Not with women that I've slept with, but
Sure.
yeah, of course. And even if it's 100, it's like you got to think this. Maybe she's given 50 hand jobs.
More than. Oh, actually, no, you're right.
You know what I mean? It's like not everybody's doing that.
But how many times has she been with each guy though?
Fair. So let's say she's given 100 or 200, maybe.
Sure.
It's like, dude, you and I are crushing those numbers.
Oh, we put in our 10,000 hours.
Brother,
We're experts.
Malcolm Gladwell would be proud. You and I have, you and I have crushed this shit.
We're outliers.
We are outliers. We're all outliers, truly.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. It's funny that
totally.
like, if you had to list out the things that I've put 10,000 hours worth of work into, they're all just like, well, shitting, showering, jerking off,
Sleeping.
sleeping.
Yeah, and JT Parr of this, I forget the podcast name. It's Chad and JT Go Deep.
Yes.
He was talking about, he was like, there's like this thing, it's like when you go to heaven, you have to like re-watch your life as it happened. And he was just thinking about like the time that he spent doing each thing. And he's like, I genuinely think the two things I've done the most are sleep and just jerk off.
I don't know about jerk off. I don't jerk off that much. Do you?
No, dude.
What's your, how many times a week are we talking?
A week? At least 7.
Really?
Yeah.
Can I be so honest with
It's
you?
been 483 days, but
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a lot.
Be honest.
Okay. I'm at like 2.
That's
I'm at, like,
incredibly
2 a week.
impressive.
2 a week. And also, if I'm actively hooking up with somebody, sometimes I drop to like 1 or 0.
Oh, I mean, if I'm hooking up with somebody, I don't really jerk off.
Yeah, you don't need to.
Yeah.
Sometimes it feels nice.
Yeah, it's a little me time.
Yeah, yeah. It's a little,
Yeah, I feel that.
invested in myself kind of thing.
Yeah. I need time to work on myself, babe.
Yeah. Work on myself, literally. Okay.
Dude, my high school girlfriend, let me just crack open another Corona really quick.
Yeah.
But I'm already on my 3rd.
Jesus Christ, dude.
I used to, it's getting bad.
Harry was like, do you want to get high for this podcast? And I was like, I don't smoke anymore, but I will get a good buzz going.
And what time is it?
In the afternoon.
9:30 a.m. right now.
I wish, dude.
Yeah,
Actually, I don't.
Yeah, really.
That would be so much worse.
Come on.
That would truly ruin my weekend.
Dude, my high school girlfriend, when she would go down on me, I felt so bad about finishing in her mouth that I
Just dove right
I don't
into
know
that.
how to say that. Like
No, that's actually the most respectful
that's like
way
the
to say it.
scientific way to say
Yeah.
ejaculating inside her uvula or something.
Yeah, that's way worse.
Yeah, okay. But I felt so bad that I just like refused to do it. So I would just blue ball the fuck out of myself to the point where like I'd be driving home that night just like and then I'd get
Oh,
home and jerk
shit.
off immediately, and it was like the
Okay.
greatest release ever.
That's a nice thing. This is going to sound so creepy, but like
We're past that.
we're so past that. We're 20 minutes into this podcast.
Yeah,
We've
what?
talked
How
about
long?
some
Dude, we've
crazy
already
shit
gotten to
already.
some pretty.
What
We're
an
18
opening.
minutes in.
That's insane.
We still got to go back to the woods and mice, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
the woods and mice are on the back burner for right now.
yeah, we're on a roll.
We're on a roll with the jerking off shit. That's crazy when you're like in middle school. Not even middle school. Like, I'd say like freshman year of high school. And it's like you make out with a girl and you're just horned to the and then
max.
you go home and
Yeah.
take care of it. That is kind of like a dirty feeling.
Yeah, it's always a dirty feeling.
Well, because it's
after.
but it's like you didn't have sex with that woman, clearly, or that girl. I guess if she's underage,
But she acted like a woman, damn it.
crazy. All right.
Well, when you're like, dude, but for real though, do you remember when you were like 8 years old and you met like a 16-year-old girl and you're like, that's a woman?
Dude, you want to hear something insane
I would
that
love
I had
to.
happen the other day? Okay, all right. This is so crazy. So, like, I saw a meme one time that was like, it's summer when Pornhub turns into Visco. You know what I mean? Where it's like you just,
Yeah,
when you were
yeah.
like in high school, you just jerk off to girls occasional.
Some people did that.
Some people do that. Nobody on this couch. But,
Nobody, not a single person on this couch.
Did you ever, okay, I did this by accident recently.
Oh, I'm so excited.
So, like, it came up in my, like, Instagram, like, it just, like, a girl that I went to high school with came on my Instagram, and I went to, like, her profile just, like, see what she was doing. And
Sure.
she's, like, doing well. I think she's a kid now and everything, which
Cool.
makes the story so much worse.
Makes it better.
But then I, like, scrolled down to a picture that I remember of her when we were, like 15 that I remember, like, finding attractive. And I remember going back to that picture now as a 23-year-old man. I was like, Ew.
Yeah.
Dude.
Isn't that wild?
Like braces and everything. And I was horned up to this. This is crazy.
Oh,
like,
man. The braces really puts things into perspective.
Go back to those pictures.
No.
Don't do anything. Don't do anything with them. For God's sakes, do not do anything with them.
It's a test.
Just realize, like, it's actually,
it is.
It's a good feeling because you're like, oh, I'm definitely not a pedophile.
Yeah.
That is, wow. Like, that's not even.
I discussed this with Kai. Like, when you even see, like, kids in college, you're like, oh my God, that's crazy.
It's a child.
Dude, there was a girl who, whatever. There was a girl who I recently found out she was like 18. And that was her birthday. She had just turned 18, and when I saw her, I literally assumed she was 14 years old.
Yeah.
And then
okay,
somebody was like, and then I was like, God, no. Somebody was like, happy birthday, you're 18 or whatever, and I literally was like, what? That's crazy. And then but when I was thinking about this too because I was in the shower. Sometimes when I'm in the shower. I like to once a month.
You start these stories so poorly.
Really?
They could go in such a horrible direction. It's funny.
I like building the tension.
Yeah, but the tension is sky high when you're like, oh, I just met this girl that recently turned 18. So I was in the shower and thinking the other day. It's like I know that's not where it's going.
It is tangentially related to that. So I was in the shower. So once a month I'll like to to test my mental fortitude. I'll jerk off in the shower. And
no thoughts.
No, with thoughts.
Oh, no, I was no thoughts. But just thoughts. Just thoughts.
Meditating and jerking off.
Just thoughts.
Just focus on your breathing.
Just thoughts, no porn.
Just thoughts, yeah.
Yeah, I quit porn for a month, and I did not even shower. Just like in alone couch, no noise, no screens.
Sensory deprivation, masturbation.
Yeah. I had headphones on, noise canceling. You also, not to sidetrack your shower story, but when you do that, you do realize how loud it is when you jerk off.
Oh my God.
Because you just hear like the friction. Like you've never heard that before with no background noise, and you realize how purely loud that is.
Yeah, the slapping.
Yeah, you're like, oh God.
Oh my God, yeah. Anyway,
I'm really going at it.
Even in the shower, like I remember when my twin brother would always be in the bathroom for like. So my move growing up was I would always jerk off in the bathroom because that was like my safe haven. You just quick dump into the toilet.
Yeah,
I was like that, and doing anything else.
I would jerk off and vape in my bathroom. I would hotbox that bathroom.
Vaping with one hand, jerking off with the other.
Dude, like I remember opening my bathroom door one time and just like clouds of smoke billowing out, and my
clouds
mom
of smoke and rivers of cum.
Yeah, my mom being there, and I'm just like, she's like, what the fuck did you just do in there? I was like, sorry, it was a hot shower with steam and stuff. And she was like, are you okay?
Is that mango?
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to bed. Sorry.
That's awesome. Continue. Well, but so my brother would. So I would always jerk off in the shower or in the bathroom, but I would always do it I would be like in there for like 30 minutes total. Mm-hmm. But my twin brother was so not slick about it because he'd be in there for like 2.5 hours, and we'd be sitting at the dinner table, and Mom would be like, "What on earth is he doing in there?" And you could hear the water getting interrupted.
Yeah.
So I think about that when I'm in the shower. But anyway.
The worst part is that like your mom didn't know. Like
she definitely did.
Naive,
I think she did.
Your dad for sure knew.
Well, he was dead.
All right. Well, you know what's also crazy? I thought about this while you were talking. Uh-huh. It's like we can have this conversation for like 22 minutes. I did not know you were a twin. I had no idea.
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody that finds out is like very impressed for some reason, even though I didn't do anything to earn
identical?
it. Fraternal.
Okay.
So it's less exciting.
It's still cool though.
It's cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. I had a woo-mate.
Woo-mate,
pretty good.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. He's taller and more tan.
Is he really?
Yeah.
That blows.
Division I athlete.
That blows.
Blows a lot.
Division I for lacrosse though?
No. Running.
Oh, even cooler. Okay.
Yeah, no. Distance too.
Ooh.
He had a 4:13 mile time.
Damn.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. That sucks, buddy.
But anyway.
And we're here doing this.
Who's watching right now?
My sister went to like a pretty much Ivy League college, and I'm just here. She works for the Secretary of State and makes like a lot of money.
But who's happier?
I shouldn't say that, actually. I'm not allowed to talk about that.
Who's happier? Wait, what?
Just because she works in politics, you're like not supposed to
say exactly what she does for a living?
Yeah, I'm not going to say who she works for, but she works for the Secretary of State, which you could Google easily and figure out what state we're in. But,
Booyah.
Yeah, she's crushing it. Shout out my sister. Okay. Crazy to say after this conversation.
Yeah.
Yo, shout out my sister.
Shout out AJ's sister. God, is she good at her job. It'd be funny to just objectify someone's sister based on how good they are career-wise. Just like,
She's so fucking good at her
fuck,
job.
she deserves that promotion.
Just any woman just being like, God, she's so fucking good at her job.
Oh God, she's so intelligent. I mean, that's kind of how I am.
Although that's sometimes me with like bartenders and stuff, where I'm like, God, they're fucking crushing it right now.
Really?
Yeah.
With bartenders?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever met a bartender I'm actually attracted to.
Really?
Just-
Even in comedy?
Mm-mm.
That's crazy.
I just hate bars so much.
What about like the wait staff at comedy clubs? Never? You've never even...
Oh my God, there's a...
We shouldn't say this. We shouldn't... Whatever. Don't say any names. For real, don't
I
say
don't
any
know her
names,
name.
Whatever. Don't say the club name, though. Jesus Christ. Okay.
There's a... I'll bleep that, obviously.
You can keep it in, but...
No, I won't.
They're all... The reason I say that is because I knew you were going to say them, because they're all very young. Like, they're the only
God
club that has
damn
just, like,
it.
a bunch of young women.
Dude, don't say... Now, even if I bleep it, they're going to think they're too... Oh, well, they're at least above 21 because they're working there, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, duh.
obviously.
Yes. But they're all very nice.
God.
They're all, like, very nice, sweet girls.
They're very nice.
Like,
And that's what I'm into, is nice. Friendly.
This is where we differ, Harry.
Really?
No, not necessarily. I don't know.
I
I have
like
a girl
that. I
that
like
I've
to
been hooking up with that I think I'm in love with. And it's
Really?
a problem.
Do tell.
It's a problem. Because I'm always like I don't know how you are, but if I'm like in like a new thing with a woman, I'm usually like the laid back where it's like, I'm not the chaser. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the high ground versus the low ground. That's how I put it.
And this one, I feel like I am low ground, and I don't.
You're
like
Anakin. She's Obi-Wan. You're
Yeah.
crawling.
Yeah, because she's like female me, where it's like she's a bad texter. She doesn't get back to you, but like
Makes you reevaluate things.
makes you insecure. But then at the end of the day, I'm like, oh, but she's like a very nice woman, so she's not doing anything. It's just me being alone with my thoughts for 12 hours.
Yeah,
which
it's
doesn't
not
get
good.
back to me is like, but what if she's fucking other dudes?
Yeah.
Mm.
And now you're in love with her.
That's why I'll do hickeys.
She's playing you like a fiddle. Just mark your territory.
Smart dude.
Yeah.
Mark these bitches. All right.
I figured out how to give a hickey in just the right way that it looks like a swastika. No, I'm kidding.
Move your tongue around.
That'd be crazy.
That would be wild.
I am big into hickeys.
Hickey
though.
art would be like the sex version of like, you know, when they do like the foam and the lattes and they make it make a heart
Like
or
a
something?
swan or something. Yeah.
That'd be sick if you could do that.
You definitely can.
You could figure it out. We
Yeah.
should learn. Let's try on each other, honestly.
Dude, I swear to God. So while Kai,
do it right now, yeah.
Kai was talking on the podcast, I only told Sam about this so far because it was so gay, but Kai on the podcast was talking about how he kisses guys, and then I was like, so that's gay. And he
Yes.
was like, no, if you use tongue, it's gay. And I was like, okay, sure. That's a weird place to draw the line. And I swear to God, from a journalism perspective, I almost was like, let's kiss right now. Like, because I knew he would.
Right.
And then I was like, I can't do that. I just can't do it.
Yeah, because it's not something you can call him on and be like, yo, kiss me, bro. And they'd be like, ew, gross. Like, Kai will be like,
He
all
would
right.
do it. That's what scared
Kai
me.
will do it for sure.
Yeah, because we, as straight comics, we love to joke about being gay, but when you're confronted
Terrified when
with
it
the
comes up.
actual
Terrified
possibility,
when the actual possibility comes up. Riley Cosgrove used to scare the fuck out of me.
Riley Cosgrove, who is that?
I love Riley. He's a gay comic.
Oh, I think I know
He's
Riley.
been going through some shit recently, but he's a good dude.
Hopefully, many cocks.
Many cocks. Many cocks to you and your family. Whenever like gay jokes would come up, I would like lean into them, and then he would like lean way further into them, and I'd be like,
To where it gets real.
oh, this is not funny
Yeah.
to me anymore. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. Like I can't like accuse you of anything because I brought it up, so I'm like, it's not.
And then
weird.
they're just yes-anding you. And then there's that moment where they're like, are you uncomfortable right now? And then it makes it real. And then they're like, are you gay? And you're like, no. I'm just so afraid of that.
Yeah.
Dude, I had a girl, because every time I'm in a relationship, I love joking about being gay.
100%.
And there was one girl that I joked about being gay and like I joked about it so much to the point where after sex one time she was like, I need you to stop joking and like I need you to tell me if you're gay or not. And I was like, I am. Like I literally couldn't not.
It's so funny. Like I can't not.
I had to
I
joke.
can't not double down.
I
gotta.
had to.
I respect that so much.
Yeah.
I've been doing the thing with the new girl because she's like a year older than me. I do think I love this woman. It's very scary. It's
Dude,
scary
I've been
because
there.
every conversation I have it goes to her now. Where it's like, you ever find yourself in that mode? Where like,
What do you mean?
Like this right now.
Oh yeah.
Where
Like
it's like you'll be
it
talking
just.
to somebody and you'll be like, oh, but I've been going out with this girl.
Have you watched the pod, dude? There's a girl I just talked about nonstop, and then she ended things on Hinge.
Oh, it's brutal.
Whatever. But
I'm
continue
sensing
with this
it's
girl.
coming. Actually, it might not. It might not. Whatever. It might work. I don't know.
It's gonna work, dude.
It might work. It might work. This might be the start of it. Wouldn't this be a
She's
crazy
gonna.
thing?
Is she gonna watch this?
Probably not.
I'll make
she's
sure.
not into feet, I don't think.
Not again, dude.
Wouldn't this be a crazy thing for me to come back to as like this was the start of my marriage origin? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have like a
people
wife
are like,
and
how
two
did you
kids.
guys really meet? And you're like, well, how we met is a whole thing.
Yeah,
But
I'm
how we
having-
really started hitting it off was.
Was this podcast?
Yeah.
I'm having like a How I Met Your Mother moment with my kids.
Do you want to
I just
look into
turned
the
this
camera
on.
and say that you love her?
I don't love her. I don't love
You
her.
s- but you think-
But
okay.
I'm real close. I've met her like 3 times.
That's all you need, man.
But I've been doing this where it's like when we're, because she's like a year older than me. Whenever like something, whenever something sexual comes up, I'll be like, not bad for a 17-year-old, right? And I'll just tell her I'm 17. It's like, it's a funny bit for me. It's really starting to scare her, I contend.
Understandably.
Which makes it so much funnier for me.
Oh yeah, that's way better.
That it's like she's genuinely getting scared.
You do that during sex.
Not during, I'll do it like right after.
Okay, that's smart.
Like
right after is
immediately
good
after.
because
Yeah,
right
'cause I can't
before you
ruin
could
it.
you could spoil it.
Yes, yeah.
What if you made that joke and she got way more turned on?
She comes immediately. She loves it.
Yeah,
You're like, oh, whoa. Okay.
because female pedophilia is much less referenced.
It's much
when
less
you
frowned upon.
when you think
too.
about exactly when you
It's
think
totally
about
okay.
pedophilia, you
Not
think
by my
about a guy.
standards.
You think about a guy.
Yeah.
You don't think about a girl or a
Yes.
woman. Sorry,
Mm.
I don't know why I'm apologizing because a girl couldn't be a. Anyway, so when I'm in the shower, I was
Thinking about female pedophiles.
I was so okay. So when you're in the shower, and sometimes you'll jerk off, and sometimes you'll go through like the Rolodex of like people you've been with.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about having sex with the girl that I first dated in high school, and then halfway
cool thing of you to do,
halfway
yeah.
through that, I like stopped and I was like, wait a second, she was a minor. I'm imagining a minor right now.
Yeah, but you're not imagining the minor version of her.
I know.
You're imagining her now. How cool it would be to go back.
Yeah, I'm imagining
Yeah.
right now, but still, it did. But then I was also like, I was younger than her,
Yes.
so this makes no sense.
totally fine.
And then I redid the math, and I was like, wait, I was a minor, she wasn't. So then I was like, now I'm jerking off to me being.
So you were what, 17? She was 18?
Mhm.
Okay. That's fine.
That's fine.
That's
fine. It's okay.
17 and 18, 17 and 25. Like, who cares? You know what I
17 and 30 something.
No, in all honesty, that is a thing of like, don't you remember like being in high school? This might be a uniquely
No, I think
me thought process.
I
but,
wrote
like,
something down eerily similar to what you're about to say.
Okay, where it's like you would look at like Leonardo DiCaprio or one
Sure.
of those guys dating a 17-year-old, and you'd be like, oh, but she's like basically an adult.
Yeah.
And now I'm like not even that old. I'm like 20. I'm 23, and like I look back on that and I'm like, dude, if I had to date a 17-year-old right now, ew, like
I know.
disgusting.
First
like,
of all, we have nothing in common
yes.
except for the fact that we love 17-year-olds.
Immediately knew where I was going.
But
Yeah.
but actually though, we have nothing in common. What the fuck are we going
Yeah.
to talk about? And then also, you look like a child.
Yes.
You can't even. You have a driver's permit. Like
Crazy.
what the fuck?
Can't go to
No.
a bar with you.
Oh,
Like,
I didn't even think about that.
that's wild.
Oh
You
God.
got to sneak her into a
Dude,
bar.
the thing that really hits home, and this happened with Owen Damon, is when they say the year that they were born.
Crazy.
Owen Damon was like, I was born in 2005, and I was like, holy shit, dude.
Damn.
That's crazy.
You know what is the thing I'll do, and this is illegal, so I shouldn't say it, but I'll buy Owen Damon beer, and I do feel like the man when I do. Like, he'll thank me, and I'll be like, "This is more for me than you." You
Yeah,
don't
totally.
Understand? I feel so cool doing this right now.
If you're doing open mic comedy, you should be able to get a beer.
Yeah, you're a legal adult at
Yeah.
that point.
You've done things that most people will never
I
do.
actually so agree with it. Like, I
It
remember
should be an asterisk.
I was 19 doing open mic comedy.
I'm
and,
so
like,
jealous of that.
You shouldn't be. Joe Fernandez used to like sneak me into Three Dead Moose.
Fuck
Shout
yeah,
out
Joe.
Fernandez.
What up, Joe?
He does
Great
not
guy.
want a shout out on this episode.
I'll send him the.
Just full
What is
pedophilia.
it? The statute of limitations?
Yes.
Yeah, we're fine.
Yeah, we're good. Joe like would sneak. It wasn't even sneak in because it's like the bouncer knew, so it was just like they just had to make sure I went upstairs supervised and
Yeah.
didn't buy anything, which I never would. Like I really wouldn't drink at those because I was so scared of not being able to come back. But like, yeah, if you're 19 driving yourself to open mics, you should be able to drink.
Yeah, you should have a fucking.
That's an adult. Like,
Totally.
It was close enough.
You're also doing something that like benefits from drinking,
Yes.
which is weird. Not even just like being loose or whatever, but like socially.
Yeah.
I don't even like drinking that much, but drinking at
The sun is still out. Yeah.
comedy has changed me. But yeah,
Same.
like drinking at an open mic, especially when you're there and you're like around a bunch of people that you don't really like, you're like, if I had 2 beers in me, this makes infinitely easier.
This makes it so much easier. Dude, being sober and watching an open mic.
Holy shit.
Because I quit drinking for
it's
a
so
little
hard.
bit this year. I stopped for like a good 30 to 50 days.
Let me say, I'm glad you're back.
I am too. I know.
I hate when I lose friends to sobriety. You're like, oh, you're gonna get your act together? Oh,
Brutal,
come on.
brutal. I've stopped pretty much, and this will be an exception because I have a show later, but I don't like drinking before I go on stage.
Yeah.
Because I've listened back to sets, and it's not even that they're that bad, because I'll never like get drunk on stage. I'll just get like I'll have like 2 beers and then go on stage.
That's nice.
But I don't know if you've experienced this. I will listen back to sets, and clearly in my mind, I'm like, oh, I thought this went better than it did.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I was having more fun in the audience. And
Totally.
sometimes that's good because sometimes it like
You're loose.
brings your energy up.
Uh-huh.
But other times you're like, oh fuck, I was not doing that good, and I
It's
was
a
like,
lack of
pretty
awareness.
cocky. Yes,
Which is horrible.
bingo. It's
You wanna
exactly
be
that.
aware.
Yes.
Yeah.
You want to know what's going on. Where was I going with the quitting drinking thing? I was talking to my dad about this for a second, where I was like, he was like, yeah, you never really drank a lot, and like now, it's just like whenever I'm over there, I'll have like a beer. Where it's like I don't drink a lot. It's just like I drink often.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
It sounds like something an alcoholic would say.
Totally sounds.
I don't drink a lot, but I drink
said
often.
it, I was like, I've heard alcohol.
You might have just finished a joke for me that I might steal.
It's perfect. Go
Because
for it.
there's a thing that I saw in the dispensary that was like, weed is not addictive, but it may be habit forming. And I've been trying to think of a comparison for that.
That's
and
it exactly. Yeah, yeah. That's
yeah,
like an
like,
alcoholic.
I don't drink.
I don't drink a lot. I drink often.
I drink often. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
No, that's perfect. Take
yeah,
that.
I will. Thank you.
Uh,
I'll try it.
My dad, like, literally, I just had a beer and he was like, "Oh, you don't like," and I'm like, "You don't understand. It's like open mic comedy is like the most painful thing to go through sometimes, and the reward is occasionally you will get booked on a bad bar show,
Yeah, correct.
and your payment is 2 free drinks,
Yeah, or one.
or one,
Yeah.
or one. Even one is great,
Uh-huh.
and so it's like,
And it means a lot.
it means a lot. It means it's everything. It's
It really is.
validating
It really is.
to what you've been doing for the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember like starting to get booked on those, and it's like, well, I'm not going to turn down the free drinks
Of
because that's
course.
my payment. You know what I mean? But then like I started, and very thankful for this, starting to get booked more. And then it's like, okay, well now maybe 3-4 nights a week I get 2 free drinks. And then maybe 2 of those nights the club really likes me, so they're like, you can drink whatever you want.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, well now it's bad that it's free. You know what I mean?
It's incredibly enabling.
Yes. It's enabling, and it almost feels like a reward.
And you're not even talking. It is a reward.
Yes.
Absolutely. And also on top of that, the fact that every single person you're friends with drinks, and when they drink, they want you to drink with them.
People in the audience want to buy you a shot, and you're like, who am I to turn this down? Like, they're
Has that
appreciative
happened to
of
you?
what I've done. Yeah, it's
That's
the coolest
awesome,
thing
dude.
ever. And it's like, how do you turn that down?
You can't.
But then if like you do the Vixen, and it's like there's fucking 50 people there, and 10 of them want to buy you a shot, you're like, well, I got to drive home as well. So like,
Yeah, right.
I can't do this,
My favorite. This is fucked up to say, but
This makes me sound like an alcoholic. I don't drink a lot, for real.
just often.
I think you know that.
No, I know.
You've never seen me like
you're like
hammered.
one of the most level-headed people in comedy.
Okay, appreciate that.
Which is
I'm always terrified people think I'm a psychopath, but
No.
I think that's a
Well,
good sign that you're normal.
It's interesting because like it's just like the context of who you're talking to, because I'll talk to my friends from high school and they'll be like, "Oh my God, you smoke a joint a week? You're insane, man."
Yep.
And then I'll talk to stoners and I'll like talk to alcoholic, like people, basically just people who do comedy, and they'll just be like, "What are you, a fucking pussy?" And it's just like, it's just who you're talking to.
Yes, it's the group is all relative.
Like one group thinks I'm a total degenerate, and the other group just thinks I'm, dude. The perception
like
of me.
I think you're a fairly sober comic.
Exactly.
If I'm comparing you to Chicago comedy,
That's the thing.
I would put us in the same crew where I'm like, oh, we drink occasionally.
I'll drink if I get, I mean, I did at Uptown on Monday.
Yeah.
I was for the vouch thing. I was just sitting there and.
Because it's fucking 60 comics.
But dude, I didn't even buy a beer, and there was just a full beer sitting on the table in front of me for like 45 minutes. And I looked at Hannah and I was like, "Has anybody touched this? Has anybody given a sign that this is theirs?" And she was like, "I haven't seen anybody, but like, don't drink it.
You drink an
It's a
open
random
beer
beer,
at a bar?
dude." I went up. I was so nervous. I was like shaking on stage. I came off, just chugged the entire beer. One of the best beers I've ever had.
Dude, we had a kid in high school. He's married with a child now. I should not say.
Respect. Say his name. Full legal name.
Actually, I will. His name is Patrick. I'm not going to say his last name.
It's good, Patrick.
He's an engineer.
Okay.
He went to, again, like a damn near Ivy League school. Like, incredibly smart kid. But he just did this thing where it's like every time we'd have a high school party, he would do what we called cleanup crew. Because it was just like we had so many white girls in our high school that would like take one sip of a vodka soda and put her down or whatever, like a mixed drink or something. And he would just go around and just every half drink and drink at the end of the night. He would just toss them back and like get plastered.
Get fucked up.
Get fucked.
That's like 30 drinks that are
This is how smart he was and also how much of an alcoholic he was.
It is clever in a way.
He knew Spanish. He's like semi-fluent in Spanish because he took it a lot during middle school and high school.
Sure.
But he wasn't like fully fluent. Except when he was drunk, he would get confidence, and then he would go full Spanish.
Oh, I like that.
It was like when Pat would get drunk, we'd be like, oh, Pat's going Spanish. Like, just fully goes, like the whitest kid you could ever imagine.
That's sick.
And then one time he came out of the bathroom, he's fucked up, dude. And he walked in, like, into a room full of us, and he was just started talking about his dick in Spanish. And he's like, mi casa es, penis is negro, penis is blanco. He was like, my dick is white. That was the whole sentiment. We were just dying. We're like, there's no fucking way. He also did a thing of we made this is gonna sound, this whole podcast is making me sound like a degenerate.
Yeah,
but
dude.
I used to be. We drank a lot of Coors Light in high school, and we glued a pyramid together of Coors Light cans. We made like a beer can, like an empty pyramid, to just leave. Like we would just take it around to parties, leave it in somebody's basement. Actually, really gay now that I say it out loud.
No, that's really cool that you did that.
No, it was a really stupid thing to do.
A little Easter egg.
But we made it drunk one night, and we hot glued it together.
Arts and crafts.
Yes, drunk arts and crafts. By the way, highly underrated. And my buddy Pat, he was like holding the glue gun, just like gluing the cans together. And then I like stopped in at like a 5-minute conversation with him, and he was just holding the hot glue gun tip, just the tip of the gun at like 100 degrees. And I was like, yeah. And then I was like, Pat, are you holding the fucking gun? And he like peeled his fingers off of it because they were just burning. Oh. I was like, dude, are you okay? He's like, yeah. And then he just started gluing more cans together, just no hesitation.
That's a guy I want to go to war with.
That guy for real is like a qualified engineer and father now.
Yeah.
Like he has like a 2-year-old daughter.
Isn't it crazy how that works?
Crazy.
You just see people and then 2 years later you're like, oh, you're a father.
Yeah.
That's insane. Yeah.
Insane.
I went to college with some guys like that where they posted they have kids and like, I remember watching you do Boom Cup in college.
And you were bad at it.
Yeah. No, they were very good.
They were good? Okay. Boom Cup is the least fun drinking game. I will stand on that.
I
haven't played any drinking game in a couple of years. I've played beer pong.
Beer pong doesn't count. You're not even drinking during beer pong.
No, you put water.
That's why I like it.
Yeah, honestly,
because it's just basketball.
It's just fun. It's just fun. We might as well be playing cornhole. Truly, it's just on a table.
Dude, cornhole is so fun.
Cornhole rules.
I would literally like
bags in the Midwest, but
bags.
Bigs.
Yeah, I would play cornhole any day of the week.
Love cornhole.
I put the spin on it.
You do spin? Oh,
I do spin because I went to
okay.
South Carolina one summer, and I just every single night I played. It was me. So my best
like
friends.
Quidditch, dude. They're getting good at it.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. You just talking shop, talking about Trump, how he's gonna fucking. That was when
just
Trump was
America
on the up
great
and up. Dude, but that was just making America great. First of all, like that was
not
before
even
he had
again,
even, and people didn't think it was gonna happen. But down there, they're like, it's gonna happen. It's going.
Yeah.
He's here. He's gonna save
It
the day.
does suck that the original slogan was "Make America Great Again."
No, wasn't it just "Make America Great"?
No, it was "Make America Great Again" from the beginning.
Oh yeah, you're right.
But it would be such a good one to do now.
Yeah.
From a market, I'm not supporting. Just from a marketing perspective.
What is it now? It's like "Make America Great."
I think it's still "Make America Great Again."
Oh, okay.
But it's like again could have been such like a cool sequel.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
He
like,
fucked that up.
We were great. Let's bring it back.
Dude, there's one of my neighbors has a Trump flag on his balcony. Like if you open that door,
Chicago,
you can see
that's
it.
crazy.
I know it's crazy because it's like this is definitely a very liberal area.
Yeah.
And he just fucking put that Trump flag out there. And dude, one day I swear to God, when I'm out on my balcony smoking a joint, if I see that guy, I swear to God, I'm gonna yell Trump 2024.
Just to hype him up.
Just
a
to
little bit.
piss off everybody else
You don't
and to
even
get
believe
that
it.
guy.
It's just
No,
to
I don't
hype him
believe
up.
it at all.
Just to hype him up. Yeah.
Me and Kamala are fucking.
Me and Kamala are tight.
I
yeah.
love Kamala, dude. But it's so
Nobody
fun.
loves Kamala, but I'm
it's
happy.
just
I'll take her. I'll take her.
Yeah,
at this
dude,
point,
I am pissed though because I had a new bit about like It was just like, what do you
The
think is
new
going to
Biden
happen
joke?
first? No, it was going to be, what do you think is going to happen first? The world's going to end, or we're going to get like our first female president? And we're probably going to get a female president now.
I think so. I had the theory for the longest time that the first female president was going to be a Republican.
That'd be cool.
It would be ironic, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, the irony of it would be funny to make fun of the feminists for, but I don't think that's going to happen now. Like, I think
No.
we're getting
I was thinking
Kamala.
about this though. If I were a woman, like, okay, so forget about like right and left.
Yeah.
If I were a woman, no matter what I believed in, if there was a woman running for president,
I'd
I would
vote
vote
for
for
her.
her.
I'd 100% vote
because
for her.
at the end of the day, like, that's your chance to get one. That's
Yes.
it. That's your chance to get on the board.
Yeah.
They're not on the board. They haven't done.
Well, and that's honestly, that's why I vote for the whites. You know what I mean? Like,
Every time I see a whitey in there running,
So-
I'm like, you got to support your own.
yeah.
No one talks about
Got to
support.
stand up for the tribe. You know
support.
what I mean?
Everybody's saying like, the black-owned businesses. Every single time, I send a follow-up tweet and I say, don't forget about the white-owned businesses.
White-owned businesses are also out there, okay?
And they're better.
They're making more money, but they're...
Don't forget about Amazon, guys.
yeah. That's crazy. Support white-owned
Satire.
businesses is wild. Like, even
Satire.
the white supremacists are like, we don't need to support white-owned businesses. That's
Yeah,
crazy. Yeah.
no.
That's like too far even
It's
for
just
them.
like that's what's cool about white supremacists. Wow, I didn't think I'd ever say that.
Dude, you cannot start these stories like this. Between this and the shower thing. Every
But-
first sentence you've started a story with has been like, so I was thinking about 18-year-olds in the shower last night. And what's really cool about the white supremacists.
What's super neat about white supremacists is that if you just pander to, I mean, I guess it's any group, but if you just pander to them, even ironically, they don't know it's ironic.
Yeah.
So then you can just immediately say things that you consider incredibly satirical, and they'll just be like, fuck yeah, brother.
Yep.
It's so easy to infiltrate. Just pander.
You ever
So
had a weekend
nice.
like that makes you want to quit comedy?
No.
I had one. I've never seriously considered quitting comedy, but this did make me like question the legitimacy of everything. I
That's-
opened for a guy. He's from LA. This is at the Vault in Batavia, and
Sure.
it was he was nice, but like okay, so the openers are me and Jack Baker. He makes both of us work clean, which I was like, fine.
Fuck
okay,
that.
Whatever. It is like certain people have thought.
So is
And
his crowd older?
It wasn't even older. It was 16 and up. So you can get into the show if you're 16.
Okay.
So it was like, I get us working clean.
Okay.
This makes sense. Whatever. I didn't know anything about him going into the weekend, which is on me. I should have like researched or whatever. But he goes up. He does purely just like pandering Republican shit for like a good 50 minutes.
50?
50.
Oh, shit.
It's his whole act. It's his whole act. And then his closer is like, man, they got all these letters. I swear to God, this is word for word. He goes, man, they got all these letters now. They got LGBTs, Qs. When I was a kid, we just had 3 letters. We had FAG, applause break, standing ovation, good night, Batavia, walks off. I was like, you just spelled the F slur and you were making me work clean? This is crazy.
Yeah, what?
And then after the show,
That's crazy.
dude, it gets,
If you just spell a slur, you can do it.
yeah, I'm like, dude, you want me to spell fuck in my act? Does that make it better for you?
N-I.
He does all that. After the show, his merch that he's selling on the table is just MAGA.
Oh, they're going to say FAG.
No, that'd be crazy. It's not even like his name as a comedian. It's just Make America Great Again.
Are you
Like,
serious?
He's just selling essentially
Like it
Trump
actually
merch.
just says "Make America Great
Yes,
Again"?
like he's just selling Trump
You're
merch.
fucking kidding
essentially
me.
after the show. It pissed me off because he sold out. And honestly, the crowd was great. Like I had a good weekend. I did well.
Republicans are funnier.
They're a great crowd.
Yeah.
They're a great crowd. They are stupid sometimes. I'll own up to that. Like, you ever done a Rockford show?
No, but I can imagine.
Rockford is,
Probably
Rockford, I love
murdered.
you, but it's
Shout
stupid
out
crowd.
Rockford International Airport.
Shout
I don't know
out-
who's
shout out
using you,
Rockford,
but
Yeah, who's flying into Rockford?
Dude, I've always
That's
wondered
crazy.
that.
Those-
Who the fuck is
Rockford International Airport is the only airport with only outbound flights. Nobody's coming in. Anyway, he does all that. Sells the MAGA merch. I'm like, this is on Thursday. I'm like, dude, this is fucking crazy. Like, Jack and I were talking about downstairs. We're like, this is just wild. Like, how weird this is. But then the longer I hang out with him throughout the weekend, it's like, dude, he's like doing his hair in the green room before he goes up. He's got like clear coated nails and everything. And I'm like, you're not this guy. And that's what pissed me off personally. Like, if you want to be a Republican comedian, I think you have all right to do that. That's fine.
Yeah.
But it pissed me off because I was like, oh, you could have tricked people like my dad who like works construction into coming to your show and being a fan of you. And I'm like, you're a douchebag that lives in L.A. that doesn't believe any of this shit.
He's just doing the opposite.
Yes, where it's like, oh, you're just convincing these people and just literally scamming them right in front of their
damn.
faces.
Yeah, that is more fucked up.
But he's not even doing it like in a satirical way.
Yeah.
It's like he knows exactly what this is. Where it's like, you've never worked like a manual labor job a day in your life, and you're just making jokes, but none of these kids want to work nowadays. And it's like, that to me is cowardly and scummy.
Inauthentic.
That's the only thing where I'm like, that actually is really shitty. Because, like, the people in the crowd, I can't even call them gullible. They've only seen you for an hour. So they don't know that that's not you. But you're fully taking advantage of them just wanting somebody to root for. It's kind of what Trump's doing. But that's a whole different...
Oh.
It's kind of... I don't know.
Well, yeah.
There was a thing... Dude, I remember, like, a bunch of dudes... Not my dad in particular. My dad's fairly liberal. And he's come around on a lot of things. But, like, a bunch of dudes at his shop were, like, all pumped when Trump survived the hit. And they were like all electricians, and I remember just being like, "Oh yeah, dude, it's great. They missed the Wall Street billionaire and hit a firefighter. They hit an EMT. Thank God. Nobody like you guys, you know. Nobody that works for a living. Yeah, of course, you know.
Is that true?
Yeah, that's
it was a firefighter.
The guy that died was an EMT firefighter.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's like.
He's like saved people's lives.
Yeah, and then there
shit.
were like plumbers and electricians. Like, thank God the Wall Street billionaire lived.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
It's like I hope they all die. I hope all the politicians get shot.
That would be nice.
If you were like, we can kill every member of Congress or one firefighter, I'd be like, dude, take Congress.
What would happen though? Like, because somebody would have to take their place. So I just think it's like a perpetual motion thing, or like other shitty people would just riot, and we'd have to just keep killing and killing and killing.
Fair. Yeah.
But maybe.
Eventually, we would just be down to like the comedians that just.
I was just gonna say like Bob Keane just runs for office.
Not even. It would be like the ones that like network a whole lot. You know what I mean? It would
like who?
Those. I'm not gonna. Don't trick me into that.
Yeah.
I'll name anybody but Chicago comedians right now on this podcast.
Who was the LA guy?
I can't say that name.
I'll bleep it.
I can't say that name because people know him around here.
Okay.
I don't think you will.
I'll bleep it.
Will you bleep it?
I just want to Google. Yeah. Comics with I guess
you're not gonna bleep it out.
No, I will.
And I didn't even hate him as a person. I was just like, this is such a scummy way to make a living. Like, I'd rather fail in comedy than do that.
Yeah,
I'd fully rather fail in comedy.
I also just couldn't go up there and just lie. It has to be emotionally true. You know?
Yeah. Well, and it's like that's
no matter what I'm saying.
I think he may have even believed some of those things. Like I think he might be like a red-hearted Republican, but he was trying to like come from a place of like, I've been in the slums. Like I grew up poor. I worked all these jobs and everything, and like very clearly talking to him in the green room for a couple of days. I was like, you didn't do any of that shit. You don't know anything about that. You just like see these people that work for a living as like an easy audience, and they were supportive,
and they just want vindication.
Yeah,
they just want to like know like that he's one of us.
Yes.
Damn.
Doesn't that suck?
That is fucked up.
That really like brought me down morally. It's the only weekend where I've ever done good on shows. Like I had some of my best sets that weekend because like those blue collar. Because I talk about my dad a lot. Like I talk about like growing up blue collar and now being a pussy and like the difference
that
of
is
it.
nice. That is
and
nice.
so like they appreciated that, so I did well on the shows. But then I just walked away being like, man, what the fuck am I doing? Like it was.
But that's a real experience.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's like, this
you
is
shouldn't feel
authentic.
bad.
But then it was like, then I started questioning even like the little things in my act where I'm like, okay, but like I kind of stretched the truth on that, or like.
Yeah, but
at the end of the day, you're like, okay, I am still the person that I'm on stage. I'm still the same. Like I'm not trying to be. I don't know. I think it's fine to play a character, but something like that where it's like, oh, you're blatantly lying and scamming people was like, this is shitty. This is objectively shitty.
That is shitty. It's also like, at what point does that start to seep into your real life where you're just like, who am I?
Yeah.
Like, what am I even?
You're fully a character. And it's not even like a defined character.
What do you
like
mean?
when Adam Ray goes on Kill Tony and plays Joe Biden, it's like, that's a defined character. That's him being...
Yeah.
I don't think he's going home to his wife and like accidentally slipping in and out of Joe Biden.
Into Biden?
Yeah. But like if you're that guy, if you're the LA guy, at what point does that start to creep into your regular life where like you start believing you did come from all these things and you start, mixing in like this false background idea that you have of yourself?
Yeah. Also, I mean, the worst part of it to me is that you're pandering.
Yeah.
I can't stand that.
It's annoying.
I hate pandering more than anything else in comedy. I would rather watch someone bomb than someone pander.
Interesting.
I can't stand pandering. It's just so pathetic to me. Just
I would agree. I don't mind when new comics do it.
why not?
I've very much come around in the last year. Actually, you know what did it for me? And this name I will say, because I don't hate this person. I think they may be misguided in some efforts, but I don't hate them at all. I think he's a nice kid.
So I'm not bleeping this.
You can keep it in if you want. The James Najjar Comedy Gazelle thing.
Okay.
That made me rethink some things, because you know how we've been in my apartment and talking shit before. I love talking shit. I'll own that. I love talking shit more than anybody. But like, I think it does come to an extent where it's like, I remember when they voted James for like that biggest hack. Yeah, and I was like, the three other dudes in that category were Brian Rowe, Khalil, and Bob Keane. Brian Rowe and Bob Keane are like known scene jokes. Like, clearly this is a joke. We're making this ironic. Like, we like these guys for the most part. It's just like, it's funny.
They've been doing it for a long time.
Yes,
so we're fucking
they're still
with them.
doing open mics,
Yeah.
so we're going to put him in there. Khalil's like a known sexual. I will defend Khalil as well. But, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I do love him.
Fuck.
But, oh shit, you spell it? You're good?
Yeah.
But the James, then I was like, with James, it's like, okay, say what you will about the kid. It's like, he's like 25. He just moved here. This is so mean to throw him in that category.
I felt bad when I saw that he
I
was
felt
voted
truly
that.
bad.
Same.
I think it was a funny thing for people to be like, oh, I'm going to vote for it. Like, that's funny to say it. But then when it actually happened and now it's like posted for the whole scene to see, it's like, dude, this is mean. And so to go back to the hack thing for a second, it's like, I don't know. I've never been in a position, when I was talking shit when I was 19, which is not that long ago, but it was like, or even when I was 20, when I was like brand new, it was like, oh, it's fun to talk shit because there's nobody beneath me. Everybody's above me. Like, I just started. It's like nobody's,
100%.
Yeah.
Because you can say whatever you want. It doesn't matter.
I'm never punching down.
Sure.
I'm never punching down. I'm doing 6 open mics a week.
That's exactly how I feel.
Yeah? But you're good now.
No.
You get booked and stuff.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
I've done 24 shows this year.
That's more than a lot of people.
Really?
That's more than a lot of people.
I feel like that's like, I'm like bottom of the barrel.
No, you're not.
Are you serious?
The barrel goes way deeper than you think, brother. The
Are
barrel,
you sure?
The barrel is so deep.
I see all these posts of people that are doing shows more than me, and I'm like,
no, people know who you are. That's a huge thing. People in the scene know who you are.
Okay,
that's
interesting.
That's a big thing. Don't underestimate that.
I've underestimated it quite a bit.
Don't underestimate that. But like when you're like, oh, I'm purely an open micer. Nobody knows who the fuck I am. It's easy to just talk shit about everybody. But then it's like now somebody like I'll be like sitting around talking shit with friends. And somebody will bring up something and be like, oh yeah, this person sucks, and I'm like, oh, but they're like 2 years younger than me and they've been doing it for 6 months, and I'm like, this is mean. Like, we need to stop that immediately. This is so mean. We can't do that. Like, we all sucked at some point. I think I still suck now. Like, there's a certain point where it's like,
it has to be more than just sucking, because like sucking is like something that we're all gonna go through.
Yes.
Because that's like you have to suck at some point. So it has to be they suck and also they're racist or something.
Yeah, or they're
and
a
also
rapist.
they've raped someone.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the distinction I've been trying to make recently, because I'm like, I'm never going to give up talking shit. It's
they
too much
suck
fun.
and
It's
they
too
hold
much
you
fun.
hostage conversationally.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I'm never going to give up talking shit, but now I try to pivot the conversation to somebody that I'm like, okay, but I actually think they're a bad person as well, so I don't feel bad calling them a shitty comic.
That's a good out.
It's a great out.
Is they're definitely a fucked up
Oh yeah,
person.
but remember this person that also sucks and they're a rapist? Let's talk about them for 30 minutes, and
But it's also like it's hard to reconcile with the hardest thing. Can I actually get a beer before I say this thought?
Go for it,
And
brother.
then can you do an ad read?
Can I take a piss really quick?
Oh, dude, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, let's do it.
Oh, perfect.
Who your ad reads for?
All right, so this is like my 5th time requesting. If anybody knows anybody that works at Harry's, the company that makes soaps and shaving cream and razors, all that stuff, please sponsor me. My name is Harry. I swear to God, I will do anything for you. Whatever you ask. I'll send feet pics just to the Harry's guys. That's how much I value them. Because I've been holding out on all these other freaks. But if I get sponsored for this podcast, I swear to God, I'll send feet pics. And sorry, I was just talking to the Harry's guys.
Talking to the what?
I'm trying to get sponsored by Harry's.
Oh, the razors?
Yeah. Because to me, that's like a dream sponsorship.
Oh, yeah, that'd be a
Because I
great
can just be like,
sponsor.
yeah, it's the greatest name in spot.
Yeah,
Okay, so I was going to say.
rename the podcast after them. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, of course. I will rename the podcast for you, Harry's. I get consistently like 1,000 views per episode. That's 1,000 feet freaks.
That's not bad, honestly.
It's not.
That's more than every local podcast ever.
Oh, I check.
Yeah.
It's actually like a lot more.
It's so much more.
I have the biggest podcast in Chicago.
You have the biggest podcast in Chicago by like a pretty wide margin.
Isn't that
it's
wild?
Funny because it's over ones that are like produced by comedy clubs.
I know.
With like tens of thousands of dollars worth of funding.
It
for them.
kind of blows my balls off. Blows my
Thanks
tits
for
off.
listening, guys.
Blows my balls off. Yeah.
I'll hit another couple of feet claps for you.
I genuinely think it's also because I just have guests that I like.
That's a huge part of it.
I just have guests I like talking to.
This is how podcast. It shouldn't be the. People
Yeah.
have said this before. This isn't a new opinion, but like we're sitting in the studio. Like
Yeah, we're sitting in a
everybody's trying to do
studio.
that now.
What kind of music do you like? Just every time you're listening to a podcast and they like start with a question where it's like they seem like they're on a first date and you're like, ah, fuck.
Hey, like this is not gonna go.
It's probably not great. Or honestly, I can't even.
We were talking about jerking off in middle school.
Yeah, dude, we
within-
got fucking
within
right into
12 minutes of starting this
it. We
thing.
still got Woods and the mice to go back to.
Oh fuck, we do have.
But first, I do
Yes.
want to say, on the topic of like shit talking,
yeah,
the most difficult thing to reconcile with in comedy is when you realize, or at least put words to the fact that somebody that you really like off stage is not funny on stage.
that's brutal.
That sucks.
Yeah,
Because for the most part, everybody that I like off stage, I also like on stage. But then there are some people.
no, I would agree with you, and you would think it's the other way around.
What do you mean?
You would think it's like, oh, I find this person very funny, but they're a dick in real life.
Yeah.
That I can get over because I just won't hang.
Yeah,
out
I don't
with you.
care. Yeah.
But I'm like, oh, I still like them as a comic. But if you really like somebody as a person, but you don't like their act, it's like, oh, but I'm gonna be around you because we're friends.
Yeah. Yeah. That one sucks a lot more.
Yeah.
And then other people, if they bring that person up, you just have to be like, but they're nice.
They're super nice.
Which
That's
means
where the game Funny or Nice originated from that.
Yeah, you guys love Funny or Nice.
Funny or Nice was a thing in the suburbs.
Funny or Nice,
and
you
honestly,
fuckers.
it was a thing in the suburbs for the longest time. Purely Funny or Nice, by the way, for the feet and the casual viewers at home. It's just-
One and the same.
Yeah, it's just a game of like you name a comedian. It's very basic, and it's like, okay, is this person funny or are they nice? And nice is like a very kind way of saying not funny.
Not funny.
Not funny.
But I like them.
Yes.
Or,
And
or
to
I
be
don't.
fair, that game originated out of the suburbs, I think, because like our crew was very much like being shit talked by the city, I think, a lot.
Really?
And so it was like a way to like fire back and be
Sure.
like, oh, but we don't like that person.
The
And
Civil War.
In reality, like Luca Farrow was very good. It still is at the time. The rest of us were probably not any funnier than the people we were talking shit about. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, I think back about people that I used to talk shit about when I was like 20, even like 3 years ago, and I'm like, I'm not even better than them now. You know what I mean? Like, who the fuck did I think I was?
Yeah, it's
that I
like
was-
if they're doing 45 and I'm doing 45.
they were
I can't do
barely in-
45,
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
Have you heard anybody talk shit on me?
I don't think so.
Dude, I
But this
just
is
want to
a-
hear people talk shit on me.
Same. This is the thing. I'm
I
so
just
glad you
want.
brought
I
this up.
just want to know.
So glad you brought this
What
up.
are they saying about that fucking Harry Meredith?
I had this conversation with somebody recently where they were like, "Yeah, you're pretty likable. I feel like you don't have a lot of enemies." And I'm like, "But that's naive.
Everybody has enemies.
It's
I know.
It's
dude,
naive to not think you don't have ops. You for sure have
exactly.
ops out there.
I know for
We all
a
got
fact
ops.
there are people that when I'm at an open mic and they hear like, "Please give it up for the very funny
Like
Harry
this
Meredith," they're
fucking
like,
guy.
"God damn it! I want to know who every single fucking one of those people is."
Same,
And I just
same.
want to sit down with them and be like, "Why do you hate me?"
Same.
Just
but that's
tell
the
me.
People pleaser in us. That's why we're comedians.
Yeah, I guess it is.
Because we all really want people to like us, but we all really don't like each other.
Or it's not even like
we all like collectively like. You're one of like 25 people in the scene that I am like, oh, this
Likewise.
is a good time.
That's why
I
you're
can hang
here.
out.
Yeah.
But you gotta lie to people. You gotta convince them you like.
You have to,
you
because
gotta be cordial.
it's more rude to not.
It's more rude to be like, hey man, I don't really fuck with you. Like,
Yeah, you can't do that.
it's like that whole argument of like people hate ghosting. It's like, what's the alternative?
I know. I
The
always
alternative is just telling them, like, be like, hey, I don't like you. Like, I'm sorry, this isn't working. That's so much worse.
I know. I like to play this fun little game where you like whenever like a girl ghosts me or tells me it's not going to work out, I'll tell my friends that, and no matter what they say, my friends will always be, which is cool because it's like you are my friend, but they'll always be like, "That's unbelievable that they did that to you," and I'll always take
way
the girl's side and be like, "No, I mean they didn't ghost me.
Yeah.
I would rather them just tell me how they
rather
feel,
them
and
be
then
honest.
conversely, I'll just be
Yes.
like, no, I mean otherwise they're just telling me how they feel, and that would hurt my feelings."
Yep.
And either way, it's like there's no right way to do that.
Yeah.
Same with socially in comedy. It's like if I don't like you, I'm not just gonna be like, stop right there. Not a fan of you.
Not a fan.
Let's not have a conversation.
I'm gonna go talk to somebody else.
I'm gonna go sit in the corner.
No, instead you're like, oh, fuck, man, I gotta go to the bathroom really quick. Or like,
yeah,
I'm
exactly. I'm gonna go to the clown bathroom, rub one out.
But then sometimes you're in a conversation with somebody, and you feel like it's going really well, and they're like, oh shit, I gotta go to the bathroom, or I gotta go look over my notes really quick, and you're like, okay, do they hate me?
I fucked that up.
Because I've done that to people before.
Yeah.
Like they might hate, or it might be me overthinking it, and they're being genuine, and they really have to
Definitely.
go to the bathroom. Like,
Yeah.
But there's a strong chance they don't like me.
They didn't seem like they had to shit. They didn't give off that vibe.
They're like, I'm going over notes, and you're like, your show doesn't start for another 2 hours. You got so
Oh
much
man,
time.
the amount of times I used the bathroom escape. I'm glad that you said that. I literally used that at Uptown at the vouch thing on Monday.
That's got to be a
because
brutal hang.
everybody comes out of the woodwork.
That's got to be a brutal.
And there were like 70 comics there.
Yeah.
And you realize how many people you don't want to talk to.
Yeah.
And I literally just was like, I have to escape in some capacity.
That is my only complaint. I love Vouch, and I love what Jerry's doing over there.
It's very fair.
It's very fair. It's incredibly
Parody,
fair.
helping the little guys.
That
like me.
being said, and this is going to sound so gatekeepery. Whenever they post those lists, I look at them and I'm like, okay, of those 60 names, 20 people are really competing for this. And we could have just picked the 20 people.
Not even.
Made this a much shorter night. It's fair. I'm being generous here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's no disrespect to those other 40. It's just like, brother, this is the first time I've seen your name in a year and a half. Like,
Yeah. This is the first mic I've seen you at in a month.
Yes. You're not out.
Yeah.
So it's like, do you really deserve to be there? I don't know. That sounds
I totally agree. But that's not gatekeepery. That's just like, do you want this? Are you putting in the work to get this?
Fair.
That's not gatekeepery.
Because you could take a month off from comedy, and it's very unlikely. But like, get lucky, get drawn 8th. It's like a really great spot.
Yeah, and then
just
you have a
catch
good
a
set.
moment. Catch a moment, have a great set, get put on Vouch, catch a moment on the show. All of a sudden, you're doing CYSK or so. You know what I mean? Like,
But even then, I like to think that those people will still fail.
It does.
because they haven't put in the reps.
That is the thing of like, I haven't been doing comedy much longer. How long have you been doing?
2 years.
Okay, I'm not far in front of you.
You're
But
like 4, right?
3 to 4-ish. I'm in that range. And it's like, that is something oddly comforting, is like, if you're on my timeline, you're probably at the moment where it's like, people around you and your age are like getting things where you're like, oh fuck, they got that. That's gonna change everything. That's gonna be huge. And then 6 months will pass, and you'll be like, oh, they didn't do anything with that.
That's exactly what I was
nothing
just
with
gonna
that.
say.
Yeah.
Is like, especially with like the thing where like everybody posts like their shows, and you'll see people with like 30 shows.
Yeah.
And then you'll like look at it and you'll be like, okay, you're hosting a mic 4 out of these. Then this is the Take a Shot showcase. And then like
4 more of these are Lincoln Lodge shows that
exactly.
are fine. I'd love to get booked to them, but are sometimes not great. And also then sometimes you see them after doing 30 shows and you're like, oh, you didn't get that much better.
That's the thing that blows my fucking tits off, dude. Because I want to talk about that. Is I know I don't, because if I look at like the total amount of stage time, say I do 7 mics a week, which isn't even that much, but that's like, what, 30 minutes of stage time, maybe? Mm-hmm. That's nothing. And then you look at people who are doing 30 minutes, like an actual, like you just did in one night what I'm doing in an entire week.
Yeah.
And then they do that over and over and over and over. And it's like, shouldn't you be exponentially better than me?
Yeah.
Shouldn't you be like blowing me out of the water?
So like I've found myself in a position, I'm doing Rosemont this weekend, and it's like,
congrats.
Appreciate it. It's a scary thing.
AJ deserves it.
Thank you. So I'm sure I have ops that are going to disagree.
Please comment if you're an op of AJ.
Truly, I would like
Seriously.
to know. Here's the thing, though. I say that where I'm like, I would like to know. In the same way that, like, whenever I go with a girl, I'm like, oh, but if you're not feeling it anymore, just, like, let me know.
Just let me know,
But also, like, that girl that I'm talking about right now that I think I'm in love with, if she sends me that text right now, I'm going to be devastated. Like, it's going to ruin my weekend.
Yeah, it's going to crush you.
It's going to crush me.
Devastation.
Yes. In the same way that, like, if a comic I love was like, hey, man, I'm just not a huge fan of your stuff, I'd be like,
that'd be such a crazy thing to say.
Crazy.
I like you, just not your act.
Yeah. I was doing new material night on Wednesday, and literally I had like a fine set. Like I was okay with it. And then Kevin Bozeman came up to me afterwards and was like, bro, that set, killer. Loved it. And I was like, that meant way more than the set did. I was like, that meant so much more. That was huge.
That's wild.
But anyway, the thing I was saying, the argument I will give for like people getting a lot of stage time and not getting better, I think if you're 10 years in and you're doing 10 Laugh Factory spots a week and they're all 10 minutes and you're not getting any better, that's on you. But like, I do get it because where I'm like, okay, I'm doing zanies. It's the thing I've always wanted, but I'm like, fuck, I'm not gonna run a new joke. Like, I'm not gonna throw something in there. You know what I mean? So it's like my act continues to get better. I hope, but
you should still be refining what you have.
I am for sure.
Yeah,
and like, yes, I agree. I think people should do that more. You should continue to refine. But like, I've heard people complain about like not even that old like 27-year-old comics and be like, they're doing the same 10 minutes that a year ago, and I'm like. Yeah, because like every weekend for them is a big weekend. Like,
yeah,
they're scared.
And dude, guess what? I'll bring up Peyton Ruddy.
Yes,
because that guy is fucking amazing. Yes. He's hilarious. I've seen him before I even really knew who he was. I was doing, I was just like taking photos for Sean Donnelly, and he opened for Sean Donnelly, and I was like, this guy's really fun, good. And he did like the light switch joke that he has.
Yeah.
And it's so good. And he's such a prime example of I do not give a fuck if you're doing the same 20. If you are constantly whittling away and making it better.
Yep.
Because every single time I watch Peyton Ruddy, I'm like, I'm excited to watch this guy.
100%. I come back in the room for that one.
Exactly. Yeah. I enjoy what he's about
Peyton.
to say. I respect him as a comic.
Yeah.
And I like that's how you should be doing I'm actually jealous because I can't nail down anything with my jokes. I'm always changing them, and it's to my detriment. And then I see him, and I'm like, that's how you should be doing comedy.
Yeah.
You should be like, I like these jokes the best. I'm going to stick with them. I'm going to work on them. I'm going to make them the best.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to let my personality shine through them. Like, there's a thing.
And he riffs a lot, too.
Not to just get into comedy inside baseball
it's
here.
Too late.
We got to go back to jerking off at some point. But
the Woods and Mice.
The Woods and Mice is for sure coming back around. Just stay tuned. And, okay, Luca Farrow was always like a big brother figure to me. And I remember when he first started, like, people think he's worse now. I've heard that opinion so many times.
Really?
And I could not disagree more. I've heard that opinion from people, and I'm like, you're a fucking moron. You don't understand comedy. Because, like, Luca's old act was he would go on stage, and he would talk about his family and how he grew up, and he would just tell you a bunch of facts about his life. And then by the end of it, you were like, oh, I really like this guy, and there was some funny jokes in there. His current act is completely different in that he just tells you a bunch of experiences he's went through. Like, oh, I was on the dating apps. Or, like, they're not that basic, but it's like, I went out with this girl, and then, like, I went to go get coffee. And through those experiences, you learn just as much about him as you did when he was telling about his life.
Yeah.
And that, to me, I'm like, that's real talent. Like, when you can do a bit, it's like, oh, I went to go get coffee this morning. And by the end of the bit, everybody in the audience knows exactly who you are.
That's a very, very good way of putting that.
That's so powerful. That's so, like, that's comedy.
That's the definition of show, don't tell.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Which is huge from a writing perspective.
There's so many people where I'm like, they think they're like developing a persona, and I'm like, no, you just list a fact about yourself and then write a joke about it.
I'm super quirky.
Yes.
No. Show us how you're quirky.
Show us exactly how this is.
Tell me a story, paint a picture, and then I'll put it together from there.
Yes.
Don't put it together and then paint the picture.
And Luca's the only person that I've seen like fluidly make that transition. Where it was like, and I'm trying to do it now. It's so fucking difficult. Like, he literally went from like, I'm Italian. I live with my mom and pop. I do this and that. I'm unemployed. Stay-at-home son. That whole shtick. And it was funny. But to now, it's like he's just talking about basically nothing. Not even nothing, but just like things he does every day.
Sort of like the Seinfeldian thing.
Yes, it's a show about nothing. It's like that's comedy.
But through that, you learn about the characters.
Exactly, and you give a shit. You care.
Yeah.
Because it's like that. Then I think the next step, I don't know, I could be wrong about all this, but like the next step is then once the people care about you through like the bullshitty things, like the nonchalant things, then you tell them things about your life.
Absolutely, dude. If someone gives a fuck about you through something that's mundane, then when you present something with stakes, they're going to care about you way more.
Huge. Think about like, okay, when you go out with a girl, because actually, full circle moment here, when you go out with a woman, okay. Do you, because I have a very harsh stance on this, and I'm curious if you agree.
Oh, man.
Do you prefer to meet a woman on a dating app or organically?
Obviously organically.
100%. Why, though?
Because it's real.
But that's, okay, so like, I feel like when people do like I'm guilty of it. Like, I know I'm doing it right now, and I'm trying to get out of it. When you just list facts about yourself and then give the jokes, it's like, that's dating app. Where it's like, oh, here's this information about me. I'm 20. I'm a Sagittarius. I went to this college. These are my parents. These are my beliefs, whatever. And then there's some... But the coolest thing is, like, to meet somebody in real life And the first thing I might learn about you might be like, oh, you like you like that song because that's what was playing at the bar. Like that might be the first fact I learn about you. You know what I mean? Not that I'm trying to fuck you or whatever, but you get the point where it's like, you never know.
Ultimately.
We might practice hickeys at the end of the day. And like, that's the first fact you learn is like just something completely random. But as those random facts accumulate, you start to like form an identity of a person that you like.
Yes.
And then you start learning about their family and stuff, and you're like genuinely interested because you're like, oh,
Absolutely.
I really like this person.
As opposed to having a preset template that you're then trying to cater to.
Yes.
So you said that you are afraid of ghosts?
Yeah. Oh, you said you listened to Rex Orange County and Mac Miller? Ooh,
I know. Yeah. Oh, wow. It's so much more it's so much more interesting when it comes up naturally and then you get to like pick away at it and ask about it.
I used to always think that that's like the way to do comedy is like open up, tell them exactly who you are, give them some facts, make them laugh, let them know who you are. And now I'm like, oh, but it would be so much cooler if you could just tell them random stories and through them they would learn who you are.
You've got it, dude. You've got it dead on.
And then at the end, you could hit them with like, oh, but actually, here's what I really like.
Yeah.
Here's my life story. And now it's interesting to them because they give a shit.
And also, when you're telling them about an experience and then how you act in that experience, not only are you painting a picture of how you are as a person, but you're also creating an expectation for future scenarios.
Yeah.
So that when you do another scenario, if you defy that, it's more interesting, and then there's a reason for why you defy that.
Dude, there's a great thing. Do you know who Michael Schur is?
Yes.
He made like The Office, Parks and Rec, Good Place.
Not bad.
Yes. Made some incredible TV programs. One of the reasons like that I've seen that those sitcoms work is because every joke makes the next joke funnier because it's just character development. Like, have you seen Parks and Rec?
No.
Have you seen The Office?
Yeah.
Okay. Like the Michael Scott thing, it's like the first joke is not that funny of just him being an idiot. But it adds to this persona
it compounds.
Of him being a likable idiot. Compounds is the perfect word for it. It's compound interest on jokes.
Yeah.
Where it's like,
whoa,
oh, but this joke makes the next joke better.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is a weird pull.
What do you got?
From The Gazelle.
Yeah.
The interview with Brandon Kiefer, I read. And
I've read Kiefer did a Gazelle interview?
He did.
I actually want to read that now. Okay.
It was before his special.
Okay.
And I read it just because I was interested because he's a local guy. We all respect Kiefer as a comic.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And he said something that really stuck out to me where he's like, every single bit that I do, it should build. It should start at some point and then it should build and it should build and then it should crescendo. And then I'm on to my next bit.
Yeah.
And that's how I think about every single bit now. And even jokes. Like this joke after this point should be stronger than the point that preceded it. And then it should just like you were saying, it should all like compound on each other.
Yeah. That's such a good point. And Kiefer does a great job of that, truly.
Yeah.
You know who is also incredible? Nate Bargatze.
Dude, he's so fucking good at that.
The first Nate Bargatze joke you hear, you're like, oh, he's kind of low energy. I don't really get it. And then by the time you're 30 minutes in, you're like, I fucking love this guy. Like,
I love him.
Everything
Dude, I literally
does.
was walking in the park today, and do you know his bit about Hammett?
Yes.
Where he was like, Hammett, am I doing it wrong? And then I literally was walking through the park today and I saw a guy had just put up a hammock between two trees. And I just, in my head, said the Nate Bargatze line of he's like, what's it like to have two trees that close together? Like, you must be doing so well.
You must be crushing it.
Yeah, his stuff is so fucking relatable.
It's so good.
And he actually did an interview where he was talking about that, the importance of like, the longer you go without a laugh, the bigger that laugh has to be.
Yeah.
And so that's why on the way to that big laugh, he'll put in a bunch of little laughs.
Yeah.
And it's just like a constant build, and then you get that big release. And he is just such a fucking... I mean, Nate Bargatze is that guy that... So my favorite comics, like Daniel Tosh, Norm... my mom likes Norm, but like my mom sat me down and she was like, show me like the comics that you really like, just because she's trying to connect with me.
Yeah.
And I showed her like Tosh doing a 9/11 bit, which I thought was like masterful. And then I remembered my mom worked in the building across the street from the World Trade Center. And I was like, oh, fuck, I'm a fucking retard.
Crazy to show her that.
I know. And she was like, I don't really like that. And then no matter who it is, every single person I've showed Nate Bargatze loves him.
Love him.
Universal appeal.
Yes.
And he's clean. Dude,
it's crazy. You don't even realize it.
That's the thing. I don't like clean comedy.
Yes.
But I love Nate Bargatze.
Yeah.
He's so universal.
Well, because that's him.
So
He
good.
just doesn't curse in real life. Like, that's just how he is. Dude, you know what's
God,
so
it's
funny?
so good.
Okay, this is gonna be off topic. You showing your mom the 9/11 thing?
Uh-huh.
I had Zach Liss over. This is like a week or two ago.
Shout out Zach Liss, friend of the pod.
Shout out Zach Liss, a friend of the pod, a friend of the feet.
Oh, he's a feet guy. Yo,
right.
feet guys. Dude, you wait really quick before you get into this. What's crazy is I looked at Zach Liss's podcast and because he's been exploiting the feet thing quite a bit too.
Dude, I'm trying to get
Bro,
views. 100%,
he has comments from the same guys that have been commenting on my fucking video. And then I looked at my video.
They followed him.
We have the same audience.
Boys, if you want to jump on the AJ train, I'm gonna make an honest plea to you guys. Right. Soul's out. All right, I'm bearing my soul and my souls to you guys right now. All right.
A soul for a soul.
Yeah, I will do foot stuff.
No way.
100%. 100%. You wouldn't?
They already know. They already know I gave it up.
Listen, it's hard enough to come. I understand. If you want to let go right now, that's crazy. We just like a JOI thing. That'd be so funny, like mid-conversation, turn to be like, all right, finish. Like, just go back.
Dude, we could control when people come. Do you want to do that right now?
No. Have you ever watched JOI porn?
No. Oh, Joy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's the shit, dude. That's my favorite. People make fun of me for that, and I'm like,
no,
dude, that's the best
I
porn.
don't indulge in that. I can't.
For real?
It's too personal.
I had a joke about it for the longest time where I was like, it's the lamest thing to do. Because, like, even with jerking off, I just need someone to be like, come on, man, you could do it. Like, it's so lame.
I just want her to believe in me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, so Zach Liss?
Oh, Zach Liss was over, and there's a building across from mine with apartments, and we're looking at it, and there's like a cardboard sign in the window that I can't read because I have shitty eyes, and I'm just like looking, I'm like, all right, can I? And then Zach's over, and I'm like, dude, can you read that sign? It's been bugging me all week. Like, I can't read it. And he stands there at my window and reads, and he goes, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. My Jewish friend, Zach Liss. And I understand what it was. Like, it was a harmless thing where I was just trying to get him to read the sign because it was bothering me in terms of I needed to know what it said.
Sure.
But it clearly looked like I was like, hey, my fucking Jew friend, Zach, can you read that for me, you asshole? Like, that's
spell that out for me, please, Zach.
And it was like right as he was leaving too, so it was like from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. And I was like, all right, man, good talking to you. And he just took off. And I was like, oh, this is so awkward. I'm so sorry.
That's awesome. What I respect about Zach and Matt Calhoun is that they're both very Jewish.
Incredibly and openly.
Yes.
It takes a lot.
Yeah, it does.
Jew is becoming the new gay.
I mean, yeah.
It's
God forbid.
You're brave for being this in public.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? It's
coming out as a Jew.
It's no longer brave to be gay in public. I'm going to be honest about it.
What's cool, though, about being Jewish is that you can just tell people you are, and they have to believe you.
Yeah, there's no...
I've done that and
sometimes people tell you they're gay, and they're like, all right.
Yeah, prove it.
There's no bisexual of Jews.
Exactly.
There's no...
I just tell people I'm Jewish, and they're like, oh, okay. Yeah. And they even though I look like a Nazi.
Are you Jewish?
5%.
No. Mm-hmm. Mom's side? So you
it has to be. Yeah, it's my mom's side. Yeah,
that's crazy.
5%. That's enough, dude. That's why.
Wait,
look at the pillow behind you. Look at the pillow behind you.
Is it a menorah? No way.
Check it out.
No fucking way, dude. My sister used to have a Jewish boyfriend. He was actually a decent guy, but
he was a Jew, though.
I don't know why I said that like it was contrast.
You're like,
just trying to be nice.
He was Jewish. For a Jew, he was pretty decent.
I didn't mean to say that. That's not what I meant. Okay.
Oh, man. Wait, really quick before you say this. I was talking to a coworker, and I made a Jew joke, and, dude, it just threw me, like... In comedy, and you can corroborate this, it is so accepting to make jokes about anybody because we're all in it. It's like the most inclusive community in a way because we all joke about each other. And I made a Jew joke at Thanksgiving.
Some people are not on board.
I made a joke at Thanksgiving about, I was like, oh, not to be a Jew. And my entire family was like, what the fuck?
What the hell, Harry?
And I was like, I'm sorry, I forgot you guys aren't Jews.
You guys aren't cool.
But go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, dude, she had a Jewish boyfriend, and as a kind of a bit, he bought her cat a menorah toy.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. And my sister's cat beat the fuck out of this thing, just ripped it to shreds. I also, not to prop up a bit that I did in conversation.
Prop that up. Dude.
I said something to him to this day that I'm like, I'm so proud
You're
of that.
proud of it? I love
you ever
those things.
Riff something in real life and you're like, God damn, that was fun. I can't make it translate to stage. But when he first came over, all I knew about him was that he was Jewish. and he was like so nervous to meet our family.
That's on her.
That he walked in the front door, and he was so nervous. He was like, "Where do I put my shoes?" And I out loud said, "In the museum with the rest of them."
Are you serious?
I said it like out loud, and then my mom was like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "That was the funniest thing I've ever written." That was
That's
so
a phenomenal riff.
good. Like off the dome, out of nowhere. I was like,
shit.
"Dude, that was great."
How did he reply to that?
He was like, "Nice to meet you. I'm Henry." Like, it was so crazy.
Kind of glazed over it.
It was so out of nowhere.
Not even a little acknowledgement of that.
Yeah.
That's
No,
really
he found
good.
it funny. He was a cool dude. He found it funny.
That doesn't work on stage,
I've never tried it.
dude. You got to try that.
I don't know. It might be too crazy.
The Rosemont crowd.
The Rosemont crowd, maybe.
They
The suburbs-
hate Jews. Dude.
Yeah, the suburbs are on board.
They do.
That was my roast battle against
Antiquated.
Hannah. I was just like, Hannah's a fucking whore Jew, and they were like, yeah.
They're like, yeah, more of that.
yeah.
You do the intelligence stuff. I'm like, yeah, go back to the dumb Jew
Call
shit.
her a whore Jew again.
Yeah. Congrats on winning, by the way.
That was fun.
Sitting on this couch are the only two people in the entire world to have beat Hannah Belmont
Beat Hannah
in a roast
Belmont in
battle.
a roast battle. Crazy. Okay.
So the Woods.
So those mice again. Roast battle fan, correct?
I guess.
I think it's a good show.
Well, I would like to talk about that.
Yeah, what do you got?
We have 5
How
minutes,
much-
by the
you
way.
got 5 minutes?
5
Okay,
minutes.
Okay.
I remember.
We got to think about this tactically. Is this what we want to close the pod on?
Let's close.
Okay,
with this.
okay.
At the annoyance,
Yes.
we were talking about how great the blonde beard was. Sad to see that's gone.
It's gone now. Yep.
But then you
Thank
were.
you for gassing me up, though. I really appreciated that.
I mean,
I
dude,
needed that. At
blonde
the
guy
time.
to blonde guy, we got to support each other.
That was about
it's just
the
like
time
the
I was
white
going through the breakup, and I really needed that. That
Oh,
was very nice of
100%,
you.
dude. 100%.
Thank you.
White-owned businesses, I get it.
Yes.
We got to support each other.
Oh, don't get me wrong. The last time I got a haircut, white lady.
Oh,
Pumped.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Could I have another?
Yeah. It was uneven, but I was pumped.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
The blonde brotherhood should support each other because being a blonde guy, I talked about this with Kaylee.
Yes.
It is a disadvantage.
Yes.
Women do not like blonde guys the same as brunette guys.
They view it as like less masculine.
It is less masculine. We're more
Yeah.
feminine. We're like Barbies. We're like
Yeah.
Ken dolls.
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
That and the new girl I've been like hooking up with. Not hooking up. I love her. And no, I'm just kidding. All right, full circle. That girl, the love of my life. She like had that comment initially, where she was like, yeah, you're like way more like masculine behind closed doors than I thought you would be. And then she clarified. She was like, I don't mean it in like a tough way.
I thought you were.
I just mean like you like are like comfortable in your own skin. And I was like, you could have just said tough.
Yeah,
and that
just say
would've been-
tough, dude.
You could have stopped. You could have stopped halfway through that sentence, actually.
I just mean you're not as much of a twink as I thought.
But then she even admitted, she was like, because her normal type, she was like, I like gingers a lot of the time, but they're
Really?
kind of
What the fuck?
bitchy. And I'm like half ginger, I think.
Same. Well, when my facial hair grows in, it's orange.
Same.
Yeah.
When it comes in, it's
Dude, I hope at one point we both have beards.
it'd be so sick.
And they're both ginger.
And Netflix
and we can
specials.
take a photo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And hot girlfriends. Wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't it be, dude?
Let's make it happen.
It's gonna happen. All right. No, but she was like, yeah, I view like. She's like, usually like the lighter hair color, like there's like less masculine guys, and I was like, why is that a thing? That doesn't even make sense.
I think it's because of the contrast.
Okay.
But you have dark eyebrows, and that helps you out.
you.
But I think the lack of contrast. Also I don't know because it's the same with being a blonde guy is like being an Asian guy, because our counterpart is very attractive to everybody else.
Dude,
right?
that's a bit.
I might write that down.
That's fucking funny.
Should
as
I write
hell.
that down,
That's
feet guys?
So funny.
All right, I'm gonna write that down.
Being a blonde guy's like being an Asian guy.
Yeah.
The women are hot.
And then the men are.
You could even say just being blonde is like being Asian. Women are hot. The guys are pussies.
Yeah. Everybody
it.
thinks we
Yeah.
are.
Everybody
and
thinks
like
we're pussies.
girls that I've been with have been like, blondes aren't normally my type. Dude, I had one girl I was with, and I was like, did you think I was like attractive before you started dating me? And she was like, you were sort of just like another face in the crowd.
We're like, I feel like blonde guys are like and sometimes it works out in our favor, but it's like, they're like the boyfriend guys.
What do you mean?
We're like the guys that they want to take home to mom.
Oh yeah,
We're
but
not like
the fling is no
see you
go.
across the bar.
It's not. No.
Let's get it on.
You
kinda
have to get
guys.
to know us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ideally, yeah.
We draw you in.
Just I'm this girl that I'm in love with. I'm trying to make it work. I regret everything. I'm not in love with. If you're listening,
Dude, the girl that I went on 5 dates with this girl.
Yeah.
And
Isn't it crazy how it can happen that quick?
I
Like,
really thought I was like, she's the one.
You're like, dude, this person's
and we played
perfect.
naked chess together. I was like, this is it.
You play chess?
I love chess.
We gotta play chess sometime. I was in high school chess
Oh,
team.
dude, 1,000%.
For real?
Yeah.
We've talked about everything on this pod. We talked about jerking off to middle
Well,
school.
we haven't gotten to the woods.
We haven't even touched the woods
Or
yet.
mice. Well, we started touching mice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd love to play chess.
Oh fuck yeah!
Yeah.
All right,
That
continue
guy,
anyway.
my opa, he carved a chessboard that I have that we could play on.
That's sick as
No,
hell.
I'm always looking for people to play naked
fuck
chess
yeah.
with.
Okay, perfect.
But anyway, we played
Anyway.
naked chess together, and I was
Yeah.
like, "There's no way this doesn't work out long term." And then she texted me, and she was like, "Hey, I don't want a relationship," and I was like, "It's because I'm blonde, isn't it? It's because I'm blonde." I actually cried.
Dude,
I was that much of a pussy.
if this girl doesn't get back to me by the end of this podcast,
It's understandable.
I might break down. You want to hear something weird that weirdly hot that she did?
You've got 1 minute.
I
Go.
got 1 minute. I'll give you this in 1 minute. Something weirdly hot that she did. She told me her SAT score.
Oh,
it came
man.
up organically. I'm not grilling girls for this, but like,
Quadruple digit.
brother, I did good in high school. I was like a smart 1360. Hate to brag. Okay,
That's pretty good.
It was pretty good.
It's 100 higher than mine.
There you go. Hey,
To be
that's
fair,
still high
though,
for
to
you.
be fair though, I didn't study a single second.
That's good.
So-
you're 1260. That's great. That's a good score.
Eh,
That's objectively a good score.
I fell asleep.
1300. It's like that's you're
Sure.
in the like I get. 30.
You're gonna be good at comedy.
Yes. Yeah. You're not gonna be good enough to do
Rosemont,
anything important.
here I come.
Yes. Yeah, you're gonna be smart enough to not do anything important, but also have existential thoughts, which will be great.
Of course.
But I asked for hers, and usually I don't know why my type is dumb women. I think because I like to be not intimidated.
Respect.
We could have dived into this. We could have a whole other hour podcast on this. But her score was higher than mine, and like good. Where I was like, damn, this girl is like hot and smart. Like, oh,
Dude,
fuck,
smart is so hot.
It's so hot.
It's so hot.
It's so hot, and it almost made me. It almost like I think it might have given me like kind of yips, where it's like the whole time we were hooking up, I was like, yeah, I'm being me. I don't really give a shit. Like I'm kind of relaxed about it. And then the second she was like, yeah, I'm actually kind of smart. I was like, oh fuck, I could marry this woman.
Yeah,
and now
right?
I'm like, hey, what are you up to today? Like, I've like completely lost all of the charisma, all the aura is
Dude,
gone.
totally,
I'm just
totally.
like, I would love to hang out with you tomorrow if you're free. Like,
As soon as I find out she's a free-thinking human being, I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
what do you think about Plato's allegory of the cave?
yeah, I'm like, oh, you're like a conscious human. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and this will be the last thing.
Yes.
And then plug your dates. But
Plug the dates.
but I was gonna go on this Hinge date before this girl stood me up, but I was not crazy about this girl just on her Hinge profile, and then I looked her up on LinkedIn. She was doing facial reconstruction surgery, 3D printing skin, masters at U Chicago from Turkey. I swear to God, I was taking a dump looking at her LinkedIn. I swear to God, I swear to fucking God. I was taking a dump looking at her LinkedIn, and I immediately texted her back, and I was like, let's schedule this fucking date right now.
Yeah, you're like, I got to do it.
I know.
You gotta do
Dude,
it.
being intelligent, because it's just like my kids are going to be smart.
Then you lose like the aura and the confidence. The confidence in the aura is like, I don't give a fuck about this person.
But I kind of like being ragdolled intellectually. I just wanted to fucking slap me around.
Ragdolled intellectually needs to be the title of this.
Okay, I'll do that.
Crazy.
Ragdolled intellectually. Because like there's something so sexy about me just like saying something and her being like, actually, and then just like hitting me with the facts and me just being like, just like taking a cum shot of intelligence.
Oh, your
on the
tits are
face.
so smart. Oh,
I know, yeah. Oh, her tits wear glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Ended on that.
All right. That's it. Thank you.
Thanks, boys.
Wait, dates.
Oh, I'm roasting at the Mothership October 6th.
Dude,
if
holy
you live in
shit.
Austin.
Like how we haven't
That would be
talked about it.
sweet. There we go.
Oh, you grew up in the woods, right?
Yeah. Crazy. All right.
Let's fucking end this shit. Oh, man.
What a time.
Dude, that was great.
That was a blast.
I have to take a piss.